Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our FC26 career mode here with Burnley. We've got another bumper episode coming up today as I'd like to try and play through the entirety of the January window today. We've got massive games in the league against Arsenal, who we faced twice alongside league leaders Newcastle. We've got the first leg of our League Cup semi-final against Spurs and match days 7 and 8 in the Champions League alongside the third round of the FA Cup. So big games in all four competitions, and we're actually going to start off today by us recalling one of our youngsters who's out on loan, who is going to be sold. I need to generate some funds to give out some contracts, and we've literally got no money in the bank at the moment. So yeah, I need to recall him and then probably sell him for around 10 to 12 million. We've got loads of good young wide players, so I'm not too fussed about losing him. But yeah, first game today is a big one. It's Arsenal at home at Turf Moor, currently dead level on 37 points each, but 7 behind league leaders Newcastle. So a win here is crucial for both sides. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, what a way to start off today's episode, and I'm really hoping with a positive result here we could get moving in the right direction. I'm not writing us off in the league, but we have got a lot of work to do. 7 points behind league leaders Newcastle, and a win here against fellow title rivals Arsenal would be absolutely massive. But it's raining pretty heavily, the conditions are poor, and Arsenal have been on the front foot in the early stages and have the opening goal as well. Failed to clear our lines, and the Argentine Lautaro Martinez opens the scoring. That is the worst possible start. Well, just getting underway in the second half here, still trailing by 1, and I know it's still early doors in the season. We're not even at the halfway stage yet, but maybe it's about time we start thinking about what competitions we're going to be prioritising this year, because at the moment, the Premier League is looking like it's going to be a real challenge to win, with us potentially going 10 points behind the league leaders if we lose here. And I think we've got a good chance in the Champions League this year, maybe even a better chance in that competition than we do in the Premier League. But this game's not done yet, and the league is not done yet as Baleba forces a good save. And we need to try and get back into this if we want to keep our chances alive in the league. Space down the right-hand side. Saka. Ball comes across. Saka pegs it back. Ekitike. Lautaro finds Martinelli, who bends home the second. And I think that will be enough for the Gunners today. They will close the gap on Newcastle whilst Burnley are fading away at the top. This will officially take us to the halfway stage, and it could see us fall 10 points behind the league leaders, who we face in our next game in a must-win fixture now in the Premier League. Even a point which normally would be a decent result is not going to be enough for us. And as I mentioned earlier on, maybe we start thinking about what competitions we want to focus on, because the Premier League is looking like a real uphill task now. Newcastle away at St James's, massive game. Come on, you Clarets. Well, not the way I wanted to start off today's episode, and another injury for us as well, as Gabriel Peck is down for 3 months. Not the worst injury in the world, but obviously still not ideal. Zeki Amdouni, that's not far away as we take on Newcastle here. Pep Guardiola's side 8 points clear of us, as they were held by Chelsea at the bridge. But we've got some serious work to do. But a win here cuts that gap to 5 and gives us a completely different outlook on the second half of the season. Well, it has been very tight and cagey so far. But we do have a free kick here in a very dangerous position. Alex Scott is over it. And if we can get this up and over the wall, David Raya could be in trouble, and it's off the crossbar. And that is going to do it for the first half here. Raya was not getting anywhere near it, but unfortunately it was just a couple of inches too high for Alex Scott. Very tight and cagey game, like the previous clash against Arsenal, and it could be one of those that is separated by just a single goal. Newcastle hunting that opening goal. Miley, pass cut out by Scott, and now we can break. Hannibal has Jaden storming away down the left-hand side. Can he get inside Harrison Ashby? Okay, we'll recycle. We'll recycle. That's okay. Not quite the counter I was hoping it might be, but still we have the ball in a dangerous position. Lovely football. Jaden! And Jaden again! Gets a little bit fortunate with the rebound, but that's a huge goal from the former Ipswich Town man. Just his second of the campaign. But I started him today over Morgan Rogers, and he has rewarded me with a huge goal. Final chance for Newcastle. Jackson does well to get back, but still Newcastle have it. Bruno swings the cross in. Trafford comes and claims, and that is going to do it here at Turf Moor in what is a massive, massive win for the Clarets. That cuts the gap, to 5 points to the league leaders Newcastle, and puts us right back into the title race. Gap easily could have been 11, but instead it is cut to 5. So despite the loss to Arsenal, we have managed to claw ourselves back into things, and massive win against Newcastle. Now we take on their massive rival Sunderland away at the Stadium of Light. Massive chance to heap the pressure back on the Geordies once again, as they now looking over their shoulders at us, Arsenal and Man City, as this title race looks as if it's going to go down to the wire. Massive clash once again as we take on the Black Cats. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, it was a great win against Newcastle, but we've got to follow it up with another win here. When you get to this stage of the season, you've got to string those wins together. We've seen it so many times over the last few years with this Burnley side, where we've picked up a good win or a good string of wins, and then we've followed it on with a really poor result. So I'm conscious that we've got to get the job done here today. And I'm hoping for another 3 points as Burke does well. Picks out Hannibal. It's off the woodwork as he so nearly prodded it into that far corner. But that's promising as Hannibal again looked for Amari and couldn't pick him out. Yeah, I think the first goal's a big one today. If we get it, then I'm feeling pretty confident we can go on and see the game out. But if Sunderland get it, then I might just be feeling a little bit nervous as Hannibal is sent through and should score this one, and does, into the bottom corner. Wearing the armband with Maxime Esteve down injured and leading from the front as well. He's had a pretty good goal scoring season, averaging a goal every 3 games. In fact, just slightly better than that. And again, on the score sheet here is right on cue. We get that opening goal, and now I'm feeling confident of seeing the game through. Oh, no, 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 no. Florentino's just gone down and needs medical treatment again. And I have a feeling EA have amended the injury sliders, because we seem to be getting loads at the moment. Obviously, I've still got my injury sliders set really high. I don't normally read the patch notes, but I think it might be worth going and taking a look, because it feels like those injury sliders have certainly kind of taken its toll on this squad. That is another injury, and I reckon that's potentially, well, it'll either be a 2-month or a 7-month knock for Florentino. Well, Arsenal have just doubled their lead. Looks as if they're going to be winning once again as that ball slid through. Baleba can't get there. Neither can Bash on the cover. And Sunderland hit back with an equalising goal. Our defence split open there. And with no Florentino or Esteve, we are going to have to make changes at the back. And Johnny Kenny gets Sunderland back on level terms. Well, we've still got time here today, but just feeling a little bit nervy because we've certainly not been at our best recently. And as Rogers keeps the ball in play, finds Alex Scott. And peg back to Damien Burke, shoots and well saved. Keeper's lost it. And then it's claimed by Anthony Patterson, but yeah, we cannot afford to slip up here today. I mentioned it in the first half, but we've got to be claiming all 3 points in these sorts of games. 20 minutes to find a winning goal. We're not going to get back into the title race being this inconsistent. I said it in the first half, we've got to win these games if we want to stay in the title race. And I just don't think we're consistent enough over a 38-game season. Really poor result, but a chance to put it right in our next game. FA Cup third round against Wycombe Wanderers at home should be a banker, and I will be making plenty of changes. The backup brigade will get their chance in the Cups once again, and this should be a comfortable progression through to the fourth round. Come on, you Clarets. Yes, just really frustrating the lack of consistency that we've seen in the Premier League, and we're now 9 points behind new league leaders Manchester City. And honestly, I think we've got more chance of winning the Champions League this year than we have the Premier League, but the Prem is the one that I really want. As Benzai, let's fly. Sorry, it's Banzuzi who opens the scoring. Having a decent goal scoring season is Ezekiel, and we're off and underway in the FA Cup. Should be a comfortable win today, but I honestly think the Premier League is just too far out of reach. Oh, that's a good ball. Yeah, and it's such a poor goal to concede as well, man. And it seems to be happening a lot at the moment. For a team that was so good defensively, we're conceding a lot of cheap goals. And this is going to be our starting centre-back partnership now with Florentino down. I'm sure I would have shown it as we headed into this game. But a 7-month ACL layoff for Florentino as Marcus Edwards does restore our lead. But yeah, with he and Esteve both down, it's going to be Bashir Humphreys and Ben Ball moving forward until we get Maxime back. But Florentino's done for the long term, and maybe that's a route into the team for Ben Ball, which is great for the youngster. But yeah, we could really do with the experience in there at the moment because we're struggling. But Marcus Edwards does get us back in front, and hopefully now we should be able to see this through to get us into the fourth round. Well, there is the whistle, guys, and it's really not the performance I was after. Yes, I'm happy that we're through to the fourth round, but I was hoping for a comfortable win by 3 or 4 goals. But as I say, we just can't find that consistency at the moment, even against an EFL side. We've scraped through winning by just a single goal, but we are into the fourth round, so let's go and see who we're going to face. Well, as we get back to the menus, a couple of quick deals as we see one of the youngsters, Hiro Ashiro, heading out on loan for 2 years, and also the lad that we recalled at the start of the episode has been sold to Southampton. So that brings us some funds that we can use to hand out some contracts. We've also seen the injury to Yuri Riga is a broken elbow, which will keep him out for 2 months. So the injury is really piling up now, but let's find out who we're going to face in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Hopefully another EFL side, as it's Port Vale at home. So again, should be a comfortable progression against the side who knocked out Man City in the League Cup last 16. But yeah, feeling pretty confident about that game there. But anyway, talking about the League Cup, that is where we head for our next game, taking on Tottenham, one of our bogey teams, and a side we've got a pretty poor record against throughout the course of the save. We lost at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium earlier on in the season in the league, and that is where we head for the first leg. But as always, I will be rotating once again, and I'll be giving the backup brigade another chance to reach the final and reclaim the trophy that they won last year. So it is the first leg away from home in London as we travel to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, to be honest, guys, my main objective tonight in this first leg is just to stay in the tie. Obviously, it's quite a long 2-legged affair, and with us returning back home to Turf Moor for the second leg, I'd say let's just stay in it. I can't remember what the scores were in our semi-final last year, but I think I said a similar thing. Stay in the tie, make sure we're in it heading back to Turf Moor. So it's going to be a pretty defensive performance today, but as that man Matisse Tell gets in behind and Max Weiss makes a huge stop to deny him. Yeah, Spurs on the front foot as you would expect, but I'm just looking to try and control my midfielders and keep us in our shape, and we're doing a pretty decent job so far. But as that is slid into Mohamed Kudus, now Kulusevski, lovely football, and Max Weiss makes another brilliant stop, this time to deny El Hilali, as that should be comfortable for Weiss this time. Again, just a defensive job today. We've got a job to do, And we're looking to do it here with the German pulling out one of his trademark performances in the League Cup. Danger here as Kudus comes forward. Looks to take on Bashir Humphreys. Prass does get back at him, but still Spurs have it with Kulusevski. Lovely skill, nice football worked inside. Kudus into Maddison. Flag stays down and Spurs have their breakthrough 5 minutes before the interval. It's been coming and finally they have their goal. Oh, Benzai nicks it. Good pressing from Benzai. And he finds Rudoni, who's onside. Rudoni to Benzai. Big save by Vicario this time, as the youngster nearly found another goal in the League Cup to drag us back into the tie. But it's a big stop by the Italian. And I think that will do it for the first half here, as we will head into the break. Trailing by 1, but still in the contest. Zeki. Space for Marcus down the right-hand side. He's got Benzai with him, but Pacho coming across. That's really nicely worked, that. And Benzai finds Edwards. Does well to hold on to it. There's Banzuzi, and it's off the upright. As we've come out in this second half showing a little bit of intent. This has been a great game here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and we should easily, or could easily, have brought ourselves level there. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable first leg, this, and I don't think we're done just yet, as Benzai had made the run, but instead it'll come for Marcus Edwards. Nice skill. There's Zeki Amdouni, who breaks his goal drought, and you can't say the goal hasn't been coming, because Burnley have been brilliant since Spurs got their goal, back on level terms. And this tie is by no means done just yet. Yeah, we have really been missing Jorgen Strand Larsen since he went down injured. And I mentioned how Zeki's not really been cutting it, but that's a big goal from Zeki. And now we've got the bit between our teeth and are looking in the mood as Rudoni does well, finds Banzuzi. There's Zeki again! And Burnley are in front. And what a turnaround. As Zeki Amdouni, funny what a goal will do for you, fires that in, showing all the confidence of a striker who's in form. It's a wonderful goal, and we have completely turned this game on its head. What a first leg. And we've still got over 25 minutes left to play. Well, this might be it for Spurs. Oh, ball slid through to Tell. Watch that run. Kulusevski and Matisse Tell. Well, we're going to be level heading to Turf Moor for the second leg, and if it's anything like this first leg, we could be on for another cracker. Spurs get themselves back level with the last kick of the game, and Burnley just couldn't quite hold on, as our defensive frailties are on display once again. As I say, an absolute cracker of a game here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, but it's no surprise who it is who gets the goal. Matisse Tell, who always nets against me, levels the score and gets his side back in the tie, as we're dead level as we will head into the second leg in February. My goodness, what a clash, and a great game against one side from North London. And now we take on the other once again in the Premier League. They defeated us at the beginning of the episode. And again, we've been so inconsistent recently that who knows what the score's going to be. But another massive game in the league where we're now 9 points behind the league leaders and desperately need a positive result here today. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, massive game here as we look to try and keep ourselves in the title race. And thankfully, Maxime Estev is back available and straight into the lineup today as Amari Hutchinson, tight angle, but he clips it in and scores against the Gunners once again. Just his 4th league goal of the campaign. Really struggled again with consistency and injuries, but he's on the score sheet when it matters most, gives us the lead here. And that could be a huge goal as we look to keep ourselves in the title race. Ball finds Banzuzi, who I've given the nod to today because he's been playing really well. And This Arsenal back three, we know it can get exploited as Amdouni races away and looks like a different man in front of goal at the moment. A couple of goals in midweek against Tottenham, and now he does it against Arsenal as well. His first league goal of the season. And obviously he's had a run of games due to the injury to Strand Larsen. Hasn't been firing for me though. But now looks like he might be able to go on a streak and find his mojo as he doubles our lead at the Emirates. Yeah, from here we've just got to try and control the game and see it out. But I'm sure Arsenal are going to throw everything they've got at us as Martinelli on side finds Eze. Lovely spin still. Ebere Eze. 1-2 with Martinelli. Still Eze. And still, and Martinelli, and Saka's shot blocked. Rice wins his header. Lautaro, Martinelli. Lautaro, lovely football, and Ekitike gets the goal back. And it's not done yet. There is still around half an hour to play here at the Emirates. And the Frenchman pulls a goal back, and I just could not get the ball off them there. Well, that should be it, guys. That should be it. Where is that whistle, ref? There it is, and we do hold on. What a massive victory for the Clarets, and I think Newcastle were beating Chelsea, which will be a huge result for them as well. Man City taking on Liverpool, so I'll put a snippet of the league table on now as we head into our next game. But as I mentioned, we've got to make sure we follow this up in our next league game with a win as well as we take on Nottingham Forest. But before we get there, it's match day 7 of the Champions League, where I think 16 points will be enough already to see us through. But 1 point in our final 2 should secure it. Although I will heavily rotate with us looking like we're already pretty much qualified for the last 16. It is Marseille at home in match day 7. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, it's a little bit of a dead rubber, this one, for us, with us already knowing that we're going to finish in the top 8. Amdouni continues his great goal-scoring run, and this is exactly why I kept him in the lineup. I could have rotated him, maybe chucked Armando in, maybe chucked a false 9 in, but when he's on form, we want to keep that up. So Zeki starts, and he gets another goal. That is now 3 games in a row he's scored in. It's 4 in his last 3, and Burnley looks set to wrap up a top 8 finish tonight. Oh, Bash has given it away. That's so frustrating, man. We've been so comfortable today. Marseille have literally had nothing. Yeah, I'm not too fussed about the result today, but it would be nice to try and keep up the momentum and get a positive result today. As I flicked on to Benzai. Benzai! First Champions League goal for the kid. And he does restore the lead. What a breakout season he is having. Scored his first goal for the club in the League Cup. I think he's got one in the Premier League as well. And now he gets his first goal in the Champions League as well. Remember the name, because this kid is special. Yeah, there is the whistle. A little bit of a dead rubber, but we deserved to win it. We only gave up the 1 chance on our goal, which led to Marseille levelling the score, but we did deserve the victory. It wasn't the greatest of games, but we did just about edge it, and that win will put us on to 19 points, which will now certainly see us through straight into the last 16 of the Champions League. Right, let's jump into our next game, a big one in the Premier League, as I'm desperate to make sure we follow up that huge win against Arsenal with another win in the league. Last time we had a great win, we followed it up with that 1-1 draw at Sunderland, which was a really disappointing result, and we're running out of games to catch up with Manchester City at the top, so we can't afford any slip-ups. Come on, you Clarets. Yeah, we got a pretty good record against Nottingham Forest throughout the course of the save, so on paper it's a game that we should be winning, as Hannibal flicks on to Zeki. Can he finish? Yes, he can. He's on fire at the moment. And I mentioned it against Sunderland when we faced them. You've got to win these games if you want to be in a title race. I think we might have given ourselves too much work to do. But we're obviously going to keep fighting until the end. But we've got to win these sorts of games here. And Zeki Amdouni gets us off to the perfect start as we lead once again. But what I will say is let's see if we've learnt from that Sunderland game where we didn't really push on and look for a second goal and ended up getting stung by an equaliser. So today I'm going to keep pushing on. As I say, look for that second goal. Be proactive. And once we get it, I'll be feeling confident of seeing the game out as that's nicely worked. And Alex Scott looked to shoot. It'll come for Nuno Mendes. Milenkovic comes across and we've dragged him out of the middle, which means there should be space and Hannibal can let fly and will drill in the second goal. And just as I was saying about grabbing a second, that's exactly what we've done. Just 22 minutes in here, but already I'm feeling confident of seeing out the 3 points. Yeah, I mean, now that we've got those 2 goals, we can just play with a lot more freedom as Alex Scott denied and Jackson heads in the third and the flag stays down. I was expecting it to come, but it never did. Third of the campaign for Jackson. We've been brilliant from minute 1 today and we've scored 3 in the opening half. He's definitely onside and just nods it into the open net. Baleba forward to Amari and we're just carving through Forest and there's Zeki for 4. It's a brilliant finish and he is just on absolute fire at the moment. Couldn't hit a barn door for us in the last few episodes and all of a sudden just looks like a different man in front of goal. Well, the one thing I really want today is the clean sheet, so let's see if we can see it out, which is something we've not been able to do recently. Really struggled defensively, and as Forest come forward they do get a goal back and we just can't keep a clean sheet at the moment. They've literally had nothing all game long, but Krupi gets one back for Forest and it's no clean sheet again for Burnley. Well, that is going to do it here at Turf Moor, and despite the fact we couldn't keep a clean sheet, it is a magnificent victory for Burnley and a bit of a statement that we are not giving up on any hopes of the title. We put a little bit of pressure on the teams around us as I think we play before them. But yeah, we'll check out the league table to close out the episode. Before we get there, our final game in another bumper episode is match day 8 of the league phase. Another dead rubber with us already knowing that we're qualified for the last 16. But it would be nice to finish top and remain unbeaten as we take on Bayer Leverkusen at home on match day 8. Come on, you Clarets. Now Victor Boniface as Leverkusen come forward looking for that opening goal, and that's exactly what they've got through Malik Tillman. And they do have a lot more to play for tonight than we do as they're trying to sneak into the top 8. A win should see them qualify for the last 16, whereas of course we don't really have anything to play for and it is Leverkusen who strike first. Yeah, still trailing by 1 here. We haven't really created anything, to be fair. Although Burke, oh what a goal that is by Damien Burke. He's been on a little bit of a goal drought recently, but that is his 4th goal in the league phase, and he's proving that he can do it on the biggest of stages. What a strike! Baleba forward to Burke. And now Zeki. Burke on the move ahead of him. He's now gone offside, but Benzai back to Zeki and Illing Jr. Illing Jr. to give us the lead. His first goal since the injury at the start of the season. His first of the campaign. And it might be a bit of a dead rubber, but we're proving we want to finish top of the league phase and make a statement in the Champions League. Well, this is it for Leverkusen. They've got to get the ball in the box. Instead it's played to the edge. Oh, Leslie. No, 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 no. Leslie, my guy, what are you doing? Ah, man. Well, we're not going to see out the episode with 3 points, and Leverkusen celebrate, as that might be enough to see them into the last 16. Well, we will still remain unbeaten in the league phase. I believe it is going to be 6 wins and 2 draws in, well, what was really a complete dead rubber for us this fixture here. Leverkusen will rescue a point late on, but still, what a performance in the league phase. I'm not sure if that will be enough for us to finish top, or we might have slipped down to 2nd or 3rd, but regardless, it is still a fantastic campaign, and we will bypass the playoffs and head straight into the last 16. But that will do it for today's episode, guys. Another bumper episode with loads of games across 4 competitions. Still got ground to make up in the Premier League at 9 points behind leaders Manchester City. But we have got a slightly easier run of fixtures coming in the next episode. I'll see out transfer deadline day today as well, where I'm not expecting there to be much movement, not from Burnley anyway. No one's going to be sold and we're not going to bring anyone in, but I will show you the top deals of transfer deadline day to close out. But as I say, guys, that will do it, and I'll catch you in the next episode very soon. Take care and peace.